Hello and welcome, boils and ghouls and all the creeps in between. Midnight Crypt Works here. Hope everybody's having a great day. So today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a tag. Yay! So this is the autumn book tag. And I got this inspiration from Literary Stoner, our YouTuber. They are amazing and I love their tag. They got it from another YouTuber, and I will give all the links down below so you can find both of them. They're both awesome. Alright, let's get started.
Welcome to the crypt.
Alright, so if I look down or look to the side or whatever, it's because I'm reading these questions. I have notes right here, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite thing about autumn? So for me, I don't like cold weather. I really don't. It hurts my body. I have this thing called winter's itch. I don't know. I just know that my body, when it's cold, I have really dry skin and it just itches and it gets red and irritated, and I hate the cold. I hate it. So I live here in Florida, and it really doesn't get cold here very often, but I have a feeling it's going to be a cold winter this year because it's already cold right now. And usually around the fair, which is October, it's you know, not hot, or I'm sorry, not cold. It used to be, but global warming, you know. I say that to say my favorite thing about autumn is probably just I'm more accepted in a way of like how I dress and how I like to dress, and you know, being the spooky season and stuff like that. It's a great season if you like that kind of stuff. Also Halloween, also Thanksgiving, I think, like right before winter, I believe, somewhere around there. And you know, obviously you get to wear sweaters and hoodies and stuff like that, and hats and stuff. So I guess that's my favorite thing about autumn. I hate the cold, but I love the spooky season and the clothes and stuff you get to wear. Okay, number 2. What book on your shelves remind you of going back to school or your school days? So I got More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Okay, so I have this one, and then I have part 3, and I just realized I don't even have the first one, which is weird, so I need to get on that. I used to have all of them, but you know, you grow up and you lose stuff. But this definitely reminds me of school. This and Goosebumps and Fear Street a lot too, R.L. Stine. But this was really a staple in my childhood. I mean, I read this in elementary school. You know, I remember book fairs and stuff. I think we would have 2 a year, one in autumn and one in spring, I believe. I could be totally wrong. It was like a gazillion years ago. But this, I mean, if you were a 90s kid, you can't have, you know, your school days or your or this question without this book. I mean, this book is, and this is the first page I turned to, and I love bats. The illustrations are just amazing, you know, and the stories are so scary. They even scare me today. Like, this definitely reminds me of school. Definitely. There goes the light again. Y'all know my camera. Okay, so number 3. Find a book on your shelf which has something autumn related on the cover. That was very hard for me. So I have a book here that has nothing to do with autumn, I don't think, but it has the colors and like the color scheme of autumn. So that's why I picked this book. See, it's got like the orangey red, and it just, I don't know, it looks autumny to me. But this is Charles D. Lint, Memory and Dream. And it says right here, our dreams have the power to make magic real. So my mother-in-law gave me about 3 or 4 Charles D. Lint books, and she loved them to death. So, and I haven't even gotten a chance to read these, but they're very as she put it, kind of like fantastical and like fairies and, you know, stuff like that. I'm not sure if you want me to read the back. I'm going to read the back just in case you want me to. If not, it's all good. You can skip it. A tale of love, courage, and the transforming power of imagination. Isabel Copley's visionary art frees ancient spirits. As a young student of the cruel, brilliant artist Vincent Ruskin, she discovered she could paint images so vividly real they brought her wildest fantasies to life. But when the forces she unleashed brought tragedy to those she loved, she turned her back on her talent, on her dreams. And on her dreams. Can't read. Now, 20 years later, Isabel must come to terms with the shattering memories she has long denied and unlock the slumbering power of her brush. And in a dark reckoning with her old master, she must find the courage to live out her dreams and bring the magic back to life. So it sounds really interesting, actually. This might be on my to read list. So that's the only book I could find that remotely looks like Autumn on my shelf. Number 4. What is your favorite horror / Halloween story? Right off the bat, probably Dracula. I didn't read Dracula until after high school. I was hoping that we would read it in school, but instead we read Frankenstein, which is fine. Frankenstein, you know, it's a fine book. I like it. But I read Dracula, and that it was amazing. I mean, it was written a long time ago. So it has a lot of like diary entries and, you know, stuff like that in the beginning, and then it goes on to more like literary describing, you know, book after that, and then a little bit some more diary and stuff like that after that. But it's very scary. Like once you get past, you know, everybody's talking about everything and how they talk and, you know, in their diary and stuff, it gets pretty gruesome and pretty scary. But Dracula, I have to say, Sleepy Hollow is one of my favorite stories for Halloween. What else? I know this might seem weird, but I've always liked Ray Bradbury? I'm a horrible freaking bookworm. Something Wicked This Way Comes. Now, it has to do with like a carnival and stuff, but to me, it's very... the aura of Halloween is in it. Is in it somehow. I don't know. Maybe I made it up, but when I think of Halloween, I think of that book too. So I have to say Dracula, Halloween, Dracula, Sleepy Hollow, something Wicked This Way Comes. I guess that's it. Those are my favorites. What is your favorite horror film? Okay, this now is a very, very hard question. I mean, I love the gore, okay? I love the horror. I love it all. But if I have to pick one, it'll probably be Nightmare on Elm Street. All of them. And it's weird because I was the type that, you know, my parents really didn't care if I watched horror movies while I was young. You know, they would watch them, I would watch it with them, you know. So it became a thing to where, yes, I was scared of these movies, but I loved them so much and I loved being scared, and it was amazing. But Nightmare on Elm Street and Chucky were the ones that really scared me when I was little. Again, I'm a 90s baby, so I was watching these in the early 90s when I'm like 5 years old. I was born in 86, so yeah, they would scare me so bad I'd have nightmares and everything, but I'd want to see them over and over and over. And Freddy Krueger was the one, man. He was the one that stuck his claws in me and didn't let go. Like, I hated him, but I loved him. and I still love them. I love the movie so much. I mean, terrifying, but I love them. So if I have to pick one, which it's really hard, it'd have to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Alright, which book releases are you most looking forward to this autumn? To be honest, I have no idea. I wrote down a few new releases in my tarot journal at the beginning of the year, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you anything because I didn't look in it, and I don't really pay attention to new book releases. I like watching videos about them. You know, people who have those series on their channel, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't pay attention much. We'll see. I don't know. Which film releases are you most looking forward to this autumn? So these already came out, but they did come out around this month. I wanted to see Hocus Pocus 2, of course, and I did. And to be honest, I really liked it. And the trailer, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be so cheesy. Like, they're gonna ruin it. I don't know. But when I saw it, it was actually a lot better than I thought. Halloween Ends. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. Yes, spoiler alert. Skip this if you haven't seen it. And I'll put timestamps to when you can see this again or come back to it. But yes, the first half really isn't a Halloween movie, but it was still a good movie. Like, even if you say the first half is something completely different, if it was a separate movie, that movie was a good movie. So I don't know. And I think that it ended perfectly. I think they did it justice. I think they ended it great. So Hocus Pocus 2, Halloween Ends, and I think that's really it. Oh, Hellraiser was good too. I liked Hellraiser. And I think that's it. Last question. Only 8 questions. Show 3 books that you're hoping to read this season. Okay, so I have been slacking big time on my reading. Big time. But I'm gonna try. This is my goal, okay? We have Wolfsbane by William W. Johnstone. This cover is just beautiful and amazing and everything. Here's the back. Once the bayou was thick with it, the buttery yellow petals, the delicately veined green leaves, the seductive scent of wolfsbane. But for years, the people of Ducros Parish, Louisiana, have been free from the ancient root and its ancient evil. Now, tiny yellow buds are once again dotting the bayou, and fear sinks its roots deep into their souls. For when the wolfsbane blossoms in springtime splendor, set in springtime, the horror will be back in full flower, and Ducros Parish will be a place of nightmarish terror. So I am definitely looking forward to reading this. I am not too far from Louisiana, so this kind of hits home for me. I also got this in a Nightworms box not too long ago. This is called And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Delvin. And right here, this is just a quote. It says, "A scathing portrait of the world we live in and a running commentary on what's story, what's truth, and what's not," by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm going to read the back real quick. I don't know if I showed you the back. There's the back. It says, "In a world reeling from an unusual plague, monsters lurk in the streets while terrified survivors arm themselves and roam the countryside in packs. Or perhaps something very different is happening. When a disease affects how reality is perceived, it's hard to be certain of anything. Spence is one of the cured living at the Ironside Rehabilitation Facility. Haunted by guilt, he refuses to face the changed world until a new inmate challenges him to help her find her old crew. But if he can't tell the truth from the lies, how will he know if he has earned the redemption he dreams of? How will he know he hasn't just made things worse? So, very interesting. I definitely want to read this. Sounds like a mind game sort of book. And then the last one, I did read a little bit of this. I don't like that. It's like all fucked up right there. But I did read maybe that much of it, and then I stopped and I put it down and I never picked it back up. So I definitely need to reread this. This is Ronald Malfi. Come With Me. This is very, very interesting. Here's the back. And I will read it to you. Aaron Decker's life changes one December morning when his wife Allison is killed. Haunted by her absence and her ghost, Aaron goes through her belongings where he finds a receipt for a motel room in another part of the country. What can I read? Piloted? Is that a word? Piloted? Piloted by grief and an increasing sense of curiosity, Aaron embarks on a journey to discover what Allison had been doing in the weeks prior to her death. Yet Aaron is unprepared to discover the dark secrets Allison kept, the death and horror that made up the tapestry of her hidden life. And with each dark secret revealed, Aaron becomes more and more consumed by his obsession to learn the terrifying truth about the woman who had been his wife, even if it puts his own life at risk. So, very interesting, very interesting. That was fun. Thank you for watching the Autumn Book Tag. Thank you for Literary Stoner for giving me the inspiration to do this. I'll see you guys soon. Remember, October 25th, I will be going live. I'm not sure what time yet. Usually it's at in the nighttime, so probably around 6 or 7 Central Eastern Time or Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week. Also, if you would like a tarot reading from me, a private one, all confidential, info is in the bio or in the description below. Pleasant screams, bugs and kisses, and stay magical, my friends. Bye.